And hello, everyone. This is Daniel with the Legacy of Daniel podcast. I thank you for joining me today. I am going to be talking on some economic news that I saw today. And this is going to be my first attempt at kind of making this into not just a podcast on economics and human behavior, which is something I've been kind of studying and observing on my own. I didn't go to school and study economics, but I've been involved. I've been involved with the market. Started studying the stock market, investing back when I was in high school, researching and different companies. Go to the store and googling, all that fun stuff that you do when you're first getting into the market and wanting to invest in stocks. But fortunately, when you're young, you don't have a lot of money, and investing is a money game. And so I kind of sought wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how the market works, and I've kind of come to my own understanding on things. And human behavior and economics go hand in hand. And the free market ideology I think, is not something that I believe in as much. I used to be very much a free market, conservative type person, but far more. I guess I do believe in intervention, not because I want government involved or I want government to grow. I do believe in a bit of a smaller government. I do believe in a capitalistic and a free market society. I just kind of believe in it from a perspective, from a human behavior perspective. And things are happening because humans have needs, they have desires. We are very, especially in this day and age, very dysfunctional with a 50% divorce rate. And so a 50% divorce rate, you can't have a free market when there is a 50% divorce rate. I'm sorry, you just can't. And we just can't let things fall, because if we let things fall, there's probably not going to be too many people that want to make something beautiful out of a mess, either because they can't do it, they don't want to do it, or they're too scared to do it. So we live in a very complex world between economics, human behavior, and then the various ideologies between free market and the Keynesianism. So, I have a very open mind when it comes to economics. Like I said, I do believe in a free market, just not from the perspective of some of the free market thinkers. But I also am not really a huge interventionalist, because it does seem to lead to problems and sometimes causing burdens on the corporations that are not always the best. And this is kind of leading into a topic that I saw of Warren Buffett speaking on a couple things: the minimum wage, 40-hour work week, and how anybody that's working 40 hours should be able to make a livable wage. And that is absolutely true. Um, I think we do need to figure out a way to increase wealth for those who truly are working, and working tirelessly, working more manual labor jobs. Those guys, I worked for a furniture company, and about 15 years I was carrying furniture around, from unloading trucks and moving furniture around the warehouse, to prepping furniture, to actually delivering furniture for about 7 years. And when you're involved with something like that, if you're not making a livable wage, it gets very, very frustrating, because you are putting in a lot of effort, and it takes away a lot of your life when you are um, not getting paid the right way. So we as a society need to figure out a way to increase the living standards through the raising of wages. At the same time, we need to find a way to better educate society on how to let's live, on their wage, and live inside their means, and not constantly chasing expensive materialistic living standards. I think there's a lot we can do. I'm not as intelligent as Warren Buffett or as some of the other guys, but if there is a way that we can provide like tax breaks to corporations so that they can raise wages or something along the lines of that, that would be um, beneficial and pass off the tax break onto the employees. But secondly, I think a lot of a lot of corporations now have 401ks, and there's a lot of millionaires coming from 401ks. And what I can't understand is why people aren't utilizing the 401ks more. Why aren't they putting more money in? Why aren't they getting that match? And so we're kind of stuck in a very tricky situation of how do we raise wages, how do we raise living standards, but also how do we educate employees to better handle their money and better live according to their means. And that is a very tricky situation. And I don't think it's really something the free market can solve, because if it could have, it would have already. And I don't believe any form of government intervention would really benefit unless we started doing a better job of educating, um, children and young adults on money uh, at an early age. Like I started learning stocks and savings, when I was in high school, and the first thing I did was when I got a job, I started learning about investing and saving money. And so, if there is a way we can encourage that, I think it would be very beneficial. And secondly, we need to kind of get away from this idea of a very selfish and individualistic mindset. And I think a lot of that's coming from the 50% divorce rate. And so, because of 50% divorce rate, young adults don't really know how to settle down. They don't know how to move on to different things in their life, the different stages of their life. They don't know how to retire. So everyone's just kind of in this stage of just waiting for something to happen instead of taking control of their life through money. And as a result, we constantly have this back and forth of employees and employers and wanting raises, but they're when you look at what they're being provided through their benefits, they're actually getting paid pretty well, especially with all their benefits that they're getting, and especially not a lot of places have healthcare accounts where they put money into a HSA account, which is what I had when I was working. And that's a lot of money, and sometimes that the corporations are providing. So we need to find a way to kind of turn this society into a more prosperous environment through really education and understanding, and finding a way to kind of lead us all into an enlightened kind of period. And I think one of the biggest ways is really through correcting the divorce rate and bringing back multi generational living. We just don't know how to live together as as members of society, and it's costing us a whole lot of money because now everybody just wants their own car. When you have more than one person living in a household, so there's a lot of things to consider in regards to increasing wages for employees, which is something we should do, but we need to do it without casting a burden on the corporations. And we also need to do it in a way where employees just don't take advantage of a pay raise and not save the money or find a way to increase the standard of their life with their money by preparing for the future. So it's a tricky situation, and sometimes it's a very messy one out there in the world. Like I was out in the corporate world for 15 years. I didn't really climb the corporate ladder or anything. I just kind of stayed at the bottom. But when you're at the bottom, you get to see everything. You get to kind of ask questions, and you don't have to worry about getting fired or not getting promoted to a higher place. You just kind of get to be and observe and see how things truly work. And then you study guys like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and get their advice, and you fill in the gaps. And that's kind of what I did. But there definitely needs to be something that changes, and there need to be a lot of changes. And if we're going to tackle the debt in this country, if we're going to fix this country or fix our infrastructure, which is a huge issue. And part of me thinks that we won't even fix the infrastructure because of all the flying cars are coming, and um, people, we just may start flying over our problems, which sounds kind of funny, but it may happen. But that wouldn't be a good thing because there needs to be a very real investment into our infrastructure. But I think that'll be it for this show. This is my first attempt at trying to do a somewhat of a financial news type of briefing. I want to start speaking more, having a kind of financial news channel, and seeing what I can do with it. I believe I have a lot to offer from my studies. I've been studying the economics and business for ever since really since high school. I've always been interested in value, been a value oriented individual. I very much I like studying stocks and businesses, and but I'm more of a human behavior observationist, and that's where a lot of my opinions come from. So I thank you for listening to this show, and looking forward to any comments or suggestions, and I look forward to posting another video soon.